Welcome into the Common Dad podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Before you continue on, press pause, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a 5-star review on Apple, do all those wonderful things. And after you get done doing that, welcome back to another episode of the Common Dad podcast. I am, of course, joined by Andrew and Ryan. Gentlemen, how are we doing this fine evening?
Oh, pretty good.
Not bad. Ryan?
Fantastic.
That's-
Saw Top Gun Maverick, and I'm telling you, no spoilers, but candidate for best movie all time.
I mean, I've heard nothing but incredible things. And I rewatched
candidate, obviously, arguments to be had.
I rewatched the first movie because I was just, getting myself in the mood to watch the second one, which I haven't done yet. Why is everybody profusely sweating in the first one? Like to a drip. Do you notice that?
It's a thing.
Why is it a thing?
Because they're working out.
Air conditioning not a thing?
It's intense. Apparently back then it wasn't. No. I think the sweating, I didn't pay much attention to it in the new one, but I think it's better.
More like just
But I do think
better?
it is worth it to go back and see the first one because and again, no spoilers here, but it does a very good job of meeting audience expectations with keeping to certain things that you love about the first one,
right,
without making it all just fan fodder.
So who dies and what
Trying
happens
to make
at the
it all.
end? No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna do a thorough review on this movie because I think that is a prime dad movie. Prime dad movie, of course. I have something to brag about today. We went to Target, whole family. We went with
Sorry for your loss.
Listen, this is incredible. What would you say your average time when you go to Target? What's your average time? If you just had to guess, minimum hour.
With the whole family?
Whole family.
Well, average? Whole family? Yeah,
whole family.
Minimum.
45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. We went to Target right after work with one goal in mind. We were buying an inflatable pool. I was just going to go, hey, let me go get this pool real quick. We'll get back. We'll pump it up. Have time to play before bedtime.
Isn't your house on a hill?
Under $100.
It is on a hill. We'll get to that. So that's a whole nother. It's not a good pool. Not a good pool, but it's like a puddle. Anyway, it's beside the point. Whole family. I want to go to Target. Okay, get in the freaking van. And we all get in the van. We go to Target.
I want to hear this.
In, out, 20 minutes. Only got the pool. Nothing else. Nothing at the checkout line. Nothing else.
Stop it.
Nothing else.
Yeah,
you deserve a medal, young man.
She snuck something in.
Well, if we got something else, somebody stole something. Because I'm the one who paid for it. And that's fine with me. We made good time. Never been more proud. Now, second part of this story is also a question before we get in onto our actual topic. I don't really have a backyard. Like it is back there, but it's kind of unusable. So the pool has to go in the side yard. Pool/puddle has to go in the side yard. And I was looking at it. Am I trash? Is that trashy? Felt like
to have a pool in the side yard.
Yeah, how big is it?
Big, like a 4x10. It's like one of those rectangle ones you get at Target, like 35.
Nah, I think you're fine.
Okay.
No,
I've been to your house. I'm surprised you found a 4x10 piece of land that was flat enough to put a pool on it, though.
Wasn't flat. So once I got done filling up the pool, it was more like a slip and slide. They would go to the shallow end, if you will, and jump to the deep end. So, but nevertheless, Target trip. One goal. Yes.
Have you heard the other news?
No. Are you pregnant?
We are. So our channel here is The Common Dad.
Of course.
Have you heard about what happened with the Buckeyes?
Yes.
They have officially won the trademark of the word "the."
Do we have to
the Ohio State Buckeyes?
Do we have to change our name now?
Well, is that good news for us?
Well, I think we now have a case to trademark "the" for The Common Dad.
We're suing Ohio State. That's what we're doing.
There you go.
We had it first.
We should see if they'll settle.
Ryan. Yeah, I'm sure their lawyers suck.
It's like the Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians had to settle because some other female roller derby team had the Guardian. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, the Cleveland.
That's a real thing.
Roller derby Guardians. It's all good for them. I hope they got $1 million to go towards their roller derby gear. That's incredible. All right, so before we get even more off track, let's get on track. The topic of the evening is super awkward, as it always should be. What is the proper amount? I don't even know how
Not
to
awkward
introduce
at
this.
all.
What is the proper amount? And should you show PDA between you and your spouse in front of your children? I guess that's what makes it PDA. Put a lot of thought into this.
Well, PDA, I would almost argue, is more so than just your children because it's public.
True.
But
Which even makes it more
to answer your
embarrassing
first
for
question,
kids.
yes, you should,
I'll answer
because you
it
should
yes
also be showing your kids that you love them, maybe in different ways.
Definitely in
but-
different ways. Not maybe,
but
definitely.
I give my kids hugs. I give my kids, kisses on the cheek or the forehead or whatever. When they were
Right.
younger, yeah, I would give them a kiss on the lips. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's important to show affection and to show them that showing and expressing affection is all right and acceptable.
I agree. That's a good point because I think we're getting further away from like the whole macho mentality thing, which is a really good thing. But I don't know. I don't know about you, but like my oldest, like he's starting to, I'll go to give him a kiss on the forehead, right after school, and he's like, oh, he kind of pulls away a little bit. I guess it's just a natural thing because like we've never not done it, and he kind of gets a little embarrassed, I guess. But I don't know, Ryan. Do you're way older, so
Yes.
so much more experience
The answer's yes.
to.
Should you show
Okay,
PDA?
yes, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know where I didn't know which.
Let's be honest here. Name one time, and I feel very confident asking you two gentlemen this question. Name one time your wife has been bent over the kitchen when you walked by and you didn't smack that rear end.
Thought we were gonna have to change the description of the podcast there for a moment. Let me wipe my brow. Yes. So that's a good.
Name one time that hasn't happened.
I don't know if I've done it in front of my kids. I don't think I have.
Well, okay, so that's where I would interject with a story because I have.
Okay.
And we've had to have conversations with one of my two children as a result because he went to school and decided to do that with somebody at school.
Teacher picking up a book
and got in a little bit of trouble for that.
Oh no.
Smacked another girl in his class on the hind parts
on the rear end. Yes. Now we can say
Yeah.
it. We all know what we're talking about. We're adults here.
He got in a bit of
Say
trouble
the
for
word
that
butt.
one.
Touch the butt. We all
Right.
watch Finding Nemo. Come on.
Yeah.
No, Drew, listen. Matthew's in the same boat. He went around and he started doing it with any relative that stopped by. Now he kind of got the whole love thing. Like he didn't do it to classmates or teachers or things like that, but like aunts and cousins and like anybody that would visit the house, he would think it's hilarious to go around and start smacking their butts.
Like a basketball game. Just, hey man.
Like,
see ya.
yeah. So we had to have the conversation too, but conversation, dialogue, I think around that sort of thing is a good thing. If you're saying that you're sitting down and having that conversation so that they understand, sort of thing. But
see, I'm trying to
go
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just
okay. So
you go. You just keep her going.
I'm gonna veer off slightly because I went full on into the question there. But the other like there's obviously a lot of ways you could show affection, right? And so we have a sign up in our kitchen that says we dance in this kitchen, and it's just kind of been a silly thing that we've always done, but you don't see commonly done, and it's a way that I show you, like she'll get home from a day of work and we have the whole open house concept. So you walk in, you see our kitchen. I'm usually doing something in there, whether it's making coffee or cleaning dishes or taking out the trash or something. And so she'll come in, I'll give her a hug. And, if it's been a long day, I'll put on a song and I'll dance with her a little bit or something.
Okay.
Just goofy,
That's
but
good.
fun, but affection. And the kids always see it. I mean, the couch is part of the open concept. Whether they're in the playroom or the living room, they're watching it. They're seeing it go on. It's everything Drew said and more.
See, I think that's really good. I like the dancing thing. Obviously, I'll give my wife a kiss in front of him. That's no problem. But I don't think I've ever smacked her in the butt in front of the kids. And if I have, at least at the age they're at, I wouldn't do it. But I'm putting myself back in my shoes when I was a teenager, and like my dad would, the old tap on the butt
Oh yeah.
with my mom, and that made me so uncomfortable. I did not enjoy that for a moment. Just thinking about it makes me sick. It's just not. So I don't think I think that's where I'll draw my line. Obviously, we'll dance, we'll hug, we'll kiss, but I don't know if the smacking on the butt for me is a good idea because they're just not to that age yet to understand why, I guess, which I guess you guys already went through.
But again, that's part of the conversation. You got, I mean,
yeah, but it's just in the moment, like, all right, wife doing dishes, smack on the butt. All right, son, let me tell you what daddy just did. It's it's just an odd.
No, but it's a playful
weird.
It's a playful banter, and it's obviously something he's probably only going to see you doing with mom. He's not going to see it happen at school. He's not going to see it happen at church.
Okay.
He's not going to see it happen anywhere else.
You're saying
grocery store,
probably with mommy. But okay, yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely not.
But he's only going to see daddy doing that to mommy. So it's an affection. I mean, I can't think of any time that my kids have gone over to, Drew and Sarah's house or my parents' house or any other adult's house and seen that sort of thing. Like if there's a kid's birthday party and whatever dad is going around smacking whoever mom's like, it just
yes.
They don't see it, right? So it's they see it in these limited instances, and it's typically a playful banter sort of thing, and it's a nothing, but it's that physical communication too.
I would hope it's playful.
Well, obviously.
Get over here.
Oh, this is going south so quick.
You're supposed to be keeping us on track here, Justin.
I like how we're, 15 minutes into this, and our main topic of showing affection is just slapping our wives in the butt as they're. We sound like we're from the 50s. It's never mind.
Leave a comment. How do you show your wife affection?
We sound horrible. But no, I think the main thing I do is absolutely I make sure they see me hugging and kissing. No tongue. We try to keep that. Man, I'm telling you, we were.
Yeah, that I agree.
We were just out getting ice cream the other day. And we got the kids, and the area we live at has like a little like city center kind of place, and it has like an amphitheater. And when there's no concert, you can just walk around the amphitheater. It's not very big. It's like a public, park more or less. And these two high schoolers are just putting their teeth behind the other one's teeth. Like it's just, and daddy, what are they doing? They're doing everything they can, buddy. It looks like it's like 2:00 on a Tuesday, just broad daylight. They're literally on the stage. It was, I didn't know how to explain that one. I was just keep walking with the ice cream, but that's definitely a good line to draw there. The no tongue is, I think that could be
there is a line.
Brain. Yeah, there's a line.
There is a line.
Yeah, and you don't want to. Well, I feel like you don't want to muddle that line at all, right?
No, well, and that's what I meant by the playful. It's not meant to be intimate. Right. It's meant to be playful.
Keep the non-playful smacking of the butts to the bedroom.
Right.
Sure.
Right, and that's what I think. If I can put words to it, Justin, it's you want to show them the playful, the cute, the flirty, the communicative type of love.
I don't think that's a word, but I liked it. Communicative. I feel like you had too many.
Well, you're communicating the affection
right
to the other person. I mean,
but in all seriousness, I think that's super important because at least I have 3 boys. I think it's important that I teach them, when they get older, this is how you're supposed to treat your wife. Don't be afraid to show affection. Like that's perfectly okay. Especially, so I mean the topic is PDA, but like when we're out at a restaurant, yeah, absolutely, I'll give her a kiss. Like it's, I'm not afraid to show affection to her anywhere, obviously to a point, But I think that's really important to show, kind of be that literal example of this is how you're supposed to treat a woman. This is how it should be, with respect all the time. That's probably another podcast we could do about when we argue. It's our very, very best and never be in front of the kids. I always try to put, I'm trying to put my best foot forward in front of them. You know what I mean? Because their memories are insane.
Yeah. I think the interesting part here too is to PDA, the intention I'm sure behind the topic of today is what you're talking about with the physical, but I think it's important to show them the non-physical type of affection too, and that's something that we do. I basically grilled it into my kids, especially since COVID and the pandemic. It's, mommy's coming home from work. She works in a very stressful environment. If I'm being honest, most environments that I'm familiar with, even having worked retail, straight out of college, it's not as stressful as being an attorney in certain fields. And so mommy's coming home. She's already communicated with dad. She's had a rough day. Let's go around and let's pick up the house. Mommy has a very sensitive nose. Let's make sure we take out the trash. Let's make sure there's nothing on the floor, that the house smells good. The dishes are put away. Let's wipe down all the counters. Let's light a candle. And Yanni, we try our very best to when Yanni comes home, she's coming home to a clean house. And has she ever asked us for that? No, not once. So it's not necessarily an expectation. It's me kind of showing my kids, hey, listen, this is a way that I pay attention to what my wife's needs are, a way that I can show her that I love her, and that I have affection for her by buying her flowers and chocolates and making sure that the house is clean and straightened up before she gets home from work.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And that's just an example, but there's all kinds of other ways that you can show, like you said, at a restaurant, open the door for mom. Matthew runs around the car and opens the door for Katie and mom so that the girls don't have to open the doors for themselves.
I got to do better at that. My idea of opening the doors, hitting the button on the van, women, probably not a good idea.
They're absolutely capable of opening their own doors.
Yeah.
But Matthew and I like to take care of them.
Yeah. I got to get better at that for sure. She's listening to this and she's like, you don't open doors. She's right. I don't. I need to. Yeah, that could get me in a lot of trouble. But this is one of those topics, and we're just about to wrap it up, but this is kind of weird because I think most of our conversations, they kind of evolve as the kids get older. I don't think this one changes. I think there's a line, and I don't care if your kid's in college or high school, like at no point in time should I ever see mom and dad making out. Don't care. I'm 32 right now. As far as I know, you've touched each other twice because you have 2 children. That's it. That's all I need to know. Or however many children. I'm still living in that fantasy land. Nope, absolutely not. I don't think it changes. Do you guys agree? Like, no.
No.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
I do agree.
Okay.
I don't ever want to see
you
that.
Worried me. All right, now that you're a sophomore in high school, mommy and dad can make out on the couch.
I think for the most part, I agree with you, but I think that picture could change over time. I not that you're necessarily moving the line, but
right?
You're not gonna ask. So, I mean, we're not to this point yet, but I have heard from parents with older kids. A lot of times, they will do mother and son dates or father and daughter dates.
Sure.
In order to teach opening the door for the significant other and pulling the chair out and sliding the chair in. There are ways in which you can teach them.
That's a good
at
idea.
Different stages.
Right.
Different levels of affection. Sure. That line is always going to be there. You're not making out on the couch.
Right.
You're not making a little brother or sister for them in front of them. Like, there is a line.
Yeah.
But I think Ryan hit on a lot of the key ones. Buying flowers. He kind of skipped over it very quick. Buying flowers, buying chocolates, doing those things unrequested. So sure, there's the given Valentine's Day or whatnot, birthday, Christmas. Yeah, you're kind of expected to do it on those days. But a random, unannounced Thursday afternoon set of flowers could go a long way. There was one time there was one time I'm trying to remember the situation, but essentially I think my wife was feeling kind of sick or just having a bad day, and I went out of my way to go buy like cough syrup, lozenges, just a whole package of various different things to try to help her feel better, and then took them all to her office and dropped them off.
Oh yeah, that's a win.
Again, not flowers or chocolates. I mean, we're talking lozenges and cough syrup.
Secrets.
But it was an effort to show affection, and it wasn't necessarily private.
Right.
Those are all ways in which you can show your kids how you care for your significant other, and how they could do that to people they care about as well.
Yeah, I think that's
do
really
the same
good.
for people they care about.
Well, that's a really good point, because when people think of PDA, and that's how we started out the podcast, is everybody thinks of the the sexual stuff, or what I mean, the kissing and the not sexual per se, but
the
physical stuff, but all that stuff. I mean, it's a public display of affection. So yeah, all that little stuff, I don't think people think of as PDA, but absolutely, those are all brilliant things, and I think way, way, way more effective than my kid seeing me give her a quick peck on the cheek, while we're on the couch. But hey, mom's not feeling good. Let's go to CVS and buy the whole aisle. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. They're gonna remember that. Like that's really, really important. But the scary thing is, and we're almost like, when you don't do it, they remember that too. Yep. It's like they're always watching, and it's just like, and they remember. And so yeah, it's one of those things, like, there's no middle ground there. You're either doing it or you're not doing it, and either way, they see it, I feel like.
So I'm going to jump in here, because I liked a lot of what Drew said too. I think there's a couple of things. So we've actually already started and periodically, it's not like a regular thing, the daddy-daughter date and mother-son date. So for Mother's Day a year or two ago, Matthew took Yanni out. And we've been focusing really on experiences instead of like, buying dad a tie or buying mom flowers sort of thing. For Mother's Day, instead, let's do an experience. And obviously at this stage, it's very innocent. It's very fun. It's very almost comical. But it does give opportunities to teach different things as Matthew takes it out, and you see what he's seeing and what he's understanding. Yanni's going to see firsthand, and she can come back and give me that feedback. Hey, this is what this is the way Matthew's treating me. This is what Matthew's doing. This is what he's paying attention to. This is how he's taking it. So we can have those conversations, sort of thing.
I like that. That's a really good idea.
And I will say, Drew, that what you just suggested, I think there should be a masterclass for more guys, because I'll say some of the most appreciative moments Yanni's had. Or there was one time I went to I think like Salvation Army, and I bought brown shorts and a brown shirt, and I went to Target, Justin, in about 20 minutes. I actually think I went online and I ordered it ahead of time. I bought like a mini pack of Advil, Tic Tacs,
carry on,
like a lip gloss. I bought an emergency pack because she started a new job just after the pandemic started. Yeah. And so I got her a new desk kit, all the stuff that you kind of need in your new desk, but never have when you first start a job. And I dropped it off, and I embarrassed her at the front, because I went up to the secretary and I said, I've got a UPS delivery. I need the signature. She was in the middle of a meeting with
Wait, I missed the part of the story. You had a brown.
I was waiting for the moment that the brown pants and brown shirt came in, and I was wondering, a new desk kit, what part of the desk is the brown pants and the brown shirt for?
No, that's for me, because I dressed up as a UPS driver to deliver it.
Did you steal a truck? Should have stole a truck.
I didn't.
Would have been a better story.
I did walk in with a clipboard.
Did you?
I completed the whole. Yeah, so I tried to sell it.
Did you get a signature?
But no.
Oh, well.
No, because she was in the middle of a meeting with the partner. She's like, "Is it urgent? Does she really need to get it now?" Like, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Okay, so it was really funny. So I pulled out my phone and I texted her to come to the front.
You should have dropped it in a row.
So it ended up being really funny, and she was super embarrassed in the moment. But after,
that's good.
And then AC. Anytime the AC goes out at your wife's work, now that you have things like Instacart in place, go on to Instacart, plug in your wife's address, send popsicles and ice cream. I sent like lemon ices to the office, like a 12-pack.
I'm just leaving work.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just going home.
She had to work.
Everything nowadays has a work remote option, so just go home.
Terrible.
It doesn't. You would think it does. It doesn't. No, she had to work without AC, and they had the fans going, and she picked on her bosses by wearing like a beachy type outfit and a giant sun hat,
Hawaiian t-shirt day,
and everything. But
all day
then just after lunch, I sent her like popsicles and lemon ices, and
that's a good story. I like that. I'm gonna have to try something like that. Well,
but stuff like that is you're teaching your kids to pay attention to more than just the physical.
Yeah,
and I think that's the society standards of PDA is the physical part of it. And while that is important, that's certainly not the only thing.
Sure.
So that's what Drew was saying was awesome.
No, that's a really good story. That's a really good example too. I like that. Well, this has been another wonderful, incredible episode of the Common Dad Podcast. Of course, do not forget to follow us on Instagram. Do not forget to follow us on Facebook and go to our new YouTube channel so you can see our beautiful faces. Subscribe, like. What are the other things you can do? There's a bell on there. Hit the bell. I don't know. All the things. Just hit all the buttons on the page. But remember, it's the Common Dad Podcast. Don't follow that other loser. He doesn't even post anymore. Leave a 5-star comment. Dad Podcast. Yeah, and leave a comment. I don't think you can leave a 5-star comment on YouTube, but you can just type in like a little picture of 5 stars. That would be great too.
5 stars.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever you want to do. So do all those things. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of the Common Dad Podcast. Let us know if you liked the video by giving us a thumbs up. Even if you didn't, give it a thumbs up anyway. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video. Also, do not forget to follow us on Instagram at @the_common_dad and on Facebook at The Common Dad, so you can let us know your thoughts on today's episode.